It's a unique place.
17 million bodies in the one state, eh?
All stacked on top of each other. It's
Right,
vertical living here.
Now we're live on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. So hi YouTube, goodbye YouTube. Right, that's not the recording that I really care about too much. It's this one. So let's go. Hi, and welcome to the 1010 podcast, the diverse one. This is episode 40. Tonight we're going to have 10 artists from around the world, featuring one of their tracks each, where the artist himself and a handful of my co-hosts will actually review the music. So without further ado, let's get our first guest here. Coming up first from Sweden, a return to the show for Sabina Chanturia. Sabina, could you introduce yourself? Who is Sabina Chanturia and why did you write the song Stranger? Yeah,
hi everyone. My name is Sabina Chanturia and I'm a Swedish-Georgian singer-songwriter based in Sweden. And I would describe my music as a mix between pop, rock, and with also country western influences. My song is called Stranger. And I would describe it as, the paradox of having known someone very well, shared a lot together, and then that person it becomes, like a complete stranger to you. So it's sort of about that emotion, in short, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that everyone's been there and everyone will really feel what this song's all about. And isn't it just fantastic? So sit back and enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Sabina Chanturia with Stranger. One love. Oh, what's happened? That's not worked. I can't be having that. I'm sorry. We'll start that again. This one over here. I'm sorry. Right, start again. So coming right, let's go. Sabina Chanturia with Stranger.
Why don't you care with cold eyes? You just stare. You turned everything into nothing. So indifferent, so cold. Thought I knew you well, but I don't know you anymore. You're like a stranger to me. But now you'll be like a stranger to me. But now you'll be. Oh, could I be so blind? Why didn't I see the signs? You cover the truth in a lie. So indifferent, so cold. Thought I knew you well, but I don't know you anymore. You're like a stranger to me. But now you'll be like a stranger to me. But now you'll be. I wish I could forget everything we shared and said. I wish we'd never had met. Like a stranger to me. From now on you'll be like a stranger to me. From now on you'll be like a stranger to me. From now on you'll be like a stranger to me. From now on you'll be like a stranger to me. From now on you'll be like a stranger to me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
A bit of Russ Stallings there. That was just magnificent. Just 10 out of 10. You know how much I love your music, Sabina. Fantastic. Let's get some opinions of other people. Let's start with the three lovely Cleveland fan. Heston, Carrie, and Black Nova. What was your thoughts there on Sabina? What's your thoughts, guys?
You know, it was beautifully put together. Sabrina, I was impressed. You know, you popped up and I didn't know what was going to happen. I liked the song.
Yeah, I thought your voice was very pretty. I was looking at a few things video wise. I see how like everything was draped, like, you know, kind of gave the understanding that what was once there had been abandoned, something had gone dead. And I thought it was unique that you decided to get a male interpretive dancer, because we always see, you know, guys using female interpretive dancers. So that was a nice twist.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, thanks a lot.
Miss Carrie, what was your thought? Did you like Sabina, Carrie?
I thought it was beautiful.
Oh. Just like you, dear. I can't wait to host your mom. Honestly, I can't wait till you're on. Right, so let's go, Russ, then Lee. What was your thoughts, Mr. Stallings?
Beautiful. I love your voice. Certainly, that song is. You know, I come from. You know, I don't know everybody's background, but you know, I concentrate a lot on songwriting, and I mean, the concept is so relatable. I think you said it best, that everybody's been there. You know, we've all been through that type of circumstance and situation. And that's what speaks to people, you know, is when we can feel what someone else has felt, or that we can relate to the feeling that someone else has felt. And we pick that up in a song. And that speaks to not only the mind, but the heart. And I loved it. I thought the video, you were beautiful in the video. Your voice is beautiful. Great job.
Well, thank you so much, really.
Well said, Russ. Lee, and then Elsa. Lee in England.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want, you know, the song's all great and the video's all great, but I just wanted to really pick up on the fashion, because I really like the jacket, the main pink and embroidered jacket that you wore. And then when it cut to the black jacket, I thought it was really striking the way that happened. Then you obviously had the other outfit, which was juxtaposed, and it just had a really good, kept the, because on videos, you know, especially by that point, you're almost near the end of the song. It keeps your visual, you know, attention arrested, which I thought was really good. But yeah, the song and video is all really well made. Dance is great and everything. But I just particularly, I thought, oh yeah, the first, the main outfit is from the top and shoulders. It looked like something Prince would wear, which is always a plus in my book. So, you know.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Well said. Well, Elsa, and then Nathan.
Yeah, I really like the video. It was really neat. And what really catch my attention is when the man is dancing with the sun coming into the room. And I found it kind of magical. And I was wondering what does it mean? You know, to have this man dancing like this? Is it like getting free, or what does Sabrina meant by having this man dancing around the room?
Yeah, that's a good question, I guess, right? No, but I mean, we wanted the dancer to interpret, you know, his feelings of, you know, he sort of shaped this dance himself, and based on the song. It's about, you know, breaking free, but it's, you know, a lot of different emotions going on. There is, you know, sadness, there is frustration, there is perhaps a little bit of hope in all of that. So yeah, it's a mix of different feelings, I would say, but it also adds curiosity, I guess, you know. It's
really nice. I really enjoyed it.
Well said, Elsa. Well said. So let's go Nathan, and then my Redbeard, Greenbeard, and then our next guest, Frank, kind of the last compliment, and then you're up next, Frank. So Nathan.
Sure, good morning, Sabina and crew. I'm coming into you Wednesday morning believe it or not, from New Zealand. Sabina, that was a wonderful song. You said there's a mixture of emotions in there, sadness and frustration. I also picked up hope and happiness, believe it or not, that you'd had broken free and that the world was in front of you. It's an upbeat song, great melody. I love the length of your vocal notes in there, holding the notes. That's the kind of song I call an earworm. I can see myself this afternoon walking around humming that tune. It'll be stuck in my head all day. Well done. I really liked it. It's cool.
Well, you have to check out the rest of your stuff, Nathan. Sabina's awesome, honestly. Mark Story in London, then Steve Andrews in Portugal.
Hey, Sabina, how you doing?
Hi, I'm fine. See you again.
Good. Yeah, I've got to say, congratulations, Lee. I picked up on the jacket too. It is a stunning jacket. The video is very good as well, but I've got to say the song, it like the gentleman just said, it is an earworm. I've got that chorus going around my head, and it is an awesome chorus. And I relate to it, because sometimes, people only keep up a facade for so long, and you think you know them, and then you find out what they're really like. And we make a mistake of thinking they've changed, but what they've done is become who they really are, and we didn't see it. So yeah, awesome tune. I found you on YouTube. I've subscribed. I've liked and I've commented on your video. So good stuff. Well done.
I feel likewise. Really appreciate
Well said, dude. So between Mark and Steve, that sometimes I tell people I've got 100 years experience in the game, and they go, "What are you talking about?" And then I bring Mark and Steve out, who have almost got 50 years each experience. So these guys are the prime reviewers here. Mr. Andrews, what's your thoughts here?
Sabina, I agree actually with what a few of the other people have already said. For one, I love the jacket. I think the jacket is fantastic. And what Nathan and Mark's story, Mr. Redbeard, was saying was that the song, it's kind of stuck in my head, which is a good sign for a successful song. I thought your vocals were wonderful. I thought the production was top quality, and the video worked really well.
Well, thanks a lot, Steve.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well said. So, Frank, what's your thoughts before we get to your section, Mr. Palangi?
Hello, everybody. What's going on? I liked it. I come from two different sides. I have a filmmaker side, I have a production side, and I have an artist side. So from all three, I was looking at it, and I like that you use Ovation guitars because I'm an Ovation guy. So I picked that right up. I also picked up some ear lead guitar kind of candy going on, I think a middle to the end of the song. I really like that, how it came in kind of the right side of your ear. And then, yeah, the switch to the black kind of bridge part where you had the black background, I thought was really good visually. And the shots of the guy dancing, all that was very well. Who directed it? It was very well filmed.
A Swedish guy called Eric, a director. Mojave Media is their company name. So
okay.
Good job.
Was that hard being directed, or is that something that you're kind of used to?
No, I pretty much enjoy it, I would say. So
okay.
It's a great process.
Sometimes it's weird for artists. So I always like to ask that because someone like, I don't like being behind the camera, or I do.
Right.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, the production quality is really good too.
Well said, everyone. Sabina Chantura, you're absolutely fantastic. Until the next time, Sabina, everyone, get her added. And for anyone that said Sabrina, it's not got an R in it. It's just Sabina. It's Sabina. So it's easy enough said, but it's a slight difference, isn't it? So thanks, Sabina. Awesome.
Thank you.
Next, from New York, we've got Frank Palangi. He's also a radio host and his own show on Radio Wigwam. So suck up with this guy. Frank, could you introduce yourself? Who is Frank Palangi as an artist? And what's the story behind your song, Fall from Grace?
Primarily a rock artist for a lot of years. A lot of my influences range from 80s metal to the 90s grunge to early 2000s post-grunge stuff. This new song, Fall from Grace, is a little story behind that. I can kind of tell that maybe afterwards or whatever you guys want to.
No, tell us now. Why did you write it? What's the story behind it? Yeah, man.
Well, so 2021, we had a house fire, and I was homeless, and I lived in a hotel for 3 months. And then we moved to an apartment finally for a couple months. And this song kind of came out of it. And believe it or not, this song was completed in an apartment, which usually I have my studio stuff and all that. And I just felt driven to to keep going and to make something, and not only to keep me busy, but to be like, you know, can I still be an artist through all of this stuff? Because you really think that you're like, you know, what am I going to do? And you think the whole world's going to end after something like that. But thankfully, everything's, you know, rebuilt, back to order, and ready to rock. I shot, directed, produced the music video, mixed the song, recorded the song, pretty much everything. So when you see this, all sides of stuff.
Well, without further ado, I've heard it. It's brilliant. If you've not heard Frank, you're going to love him. Frank Palangi, Fall from Grace. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy.
The clock is ticking, the wheels are rolling. Gotta get out of my head. The fog is calling, the smoke is numbing. Gotta get out of my head. Look at your face, the cost of this rat race. Legacy is we gotta be, run out of space. How we endure when nothing is more. The world is stone, we stand on the thrones. I've known you, I've seen you fall from grace. We all have our scars showing lines in the clay. The clock is turning, everything's burning, falling from grace. Gotta go and click restart me. Reboot, reset time. Now we endure when nothing means more. I've known you, I've seen you fall from grace. We all have our scars showing lines in the clay. The clock is turning, everything's burning, falling from grace. Break down those walls, run till you save. You made the call, reset I've known you, I've seen you fall from grace. We all have our scars showing lines in the clay.
Yeah, excellent video editing.
Oh, going
That
on.
was
Thanks,
very
man.
Well done, Frank.
Yeah.
That's
There's
just
a little outro thing going
well
on
done,
here.
brother, well done. So, round of applause for Mr. Palangi. Just awesome, dude. As you can see, I swapped the background in my left-hand computer. We do a metal event as well, and that I think that song would have fitted well into that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We'll leave the Cleveland clan to the last compliments because they're up next here. So let's go, Russ and then Sabina. Russ, what was your thoughts?
Well, First, I want to comment on the quality of your voice. Great. First of all, when you were talking, I picked up immediately you had that radio personality quality to your voice. But then in the song itself, which I thought was great, it reminded me of kind of a Metallica sound. I'm not sure what you were shooting for that, but your voice reminds me a little bit of the lead singer of Metallica. So I hope you take that as a compliment.
No, thank you. They're my number one influence.
Okay, well, I picked that up, man, and I sure did. And great job, great video, great song, and you sang it well. So.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I love that's where I started, Nashville. It was my very first recording experience.
Awesome.
Well said, Russ. Well said. Let's go Sabina and then Elsa.
Yeah, I really liked it so much. I mean, it's so powerful, such raw energy, just and your voice is so great, and the chorus really is stuck in my head.
I seen you're like, yeah.
Really
There's a lot of aggression in that song, which originally I didn't plan, but I think everything I went through, it just came out. Normally I don't sing that hard, like for the verses, but it helped it, I think.
It's fantastic, dude. It's fantastic. Elsa and then Lee.
Yeah, it seems very pissed in the video because the woman you went through, I can understand that. And I felt some kind of Nine Inch Nails vibes in the, I don't know.
I could see that. I could see one of the movies I love was The Crow, and they were in that soundtrack. So I listened to kind of that stuff too. I could see that. Yeah, no.
That was I like it. It's very kind of moving as well, because you feel like it's coming from your guts,
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well said, dear. Well said. Let's go Lee, then Nathan.
Yeah, so many things to say. Actually, first off, big up Radio Wigwam because they, I know those guys and they play us all the time, or me all the time and stuff like that. So yeah, shout them out. And then secondly, that Crow soundtrack is like one of the greatest things ever. Like,
oh yeah,
that was like a doorway into like loads of alternative music for me because I already liked a couple of the bands and I found new ones from it and stuff like that. So yeah, so good. And then and I was just going to say, like, yeah, it's all awesome. Like, I like the full-on metal bits, and also I picked up on like maybe some more grungy influences from the, because you weren't going like up into metal, you were going like down to this quite a guttural kind of low thing, which kind of has more almost like Wayland, Scott Wayland-y type vibes or something, like certainly the first Scott the Pilots album Core, like where he's quite low down and everything before they get glammy and stuff. And just really liked it. Do you drive yourself mental though, doing all, because in my solo stuff I do everything, and sometimes I just drive myself mad with it.
Sometimes, not really. I mean, I try to take it piece by piece, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's hard writing all the instruments and doing everything. And
then you're playing as, right now I'm the guitarist, now I'm the drummer, I've got to be a good drummer for film, and then you're editing yourself and staring at yourself, and then you're like...
Yeah, it's a lot of hats, as I say. Like,
You didn't wear too many hats in it.
Yeah, no hats. I did wear a hoodie, hoodie part.
Next video, you should have different hats on in each one, and that'll be a metaphorical representation of your roles. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
It's wicked, really good.
So it's a small world bringing you two on the show, and you actually feature each other. It really is a small world here. Welcome to Kirsty Leslie Jones as well, coming in. She's driving and she's coming for a little listen. So let's go Nathan, then Redbeard, Greenbeard, and then we're over to the Black Nova Entertainment and the Heston Cleveland crew.
Yeah, first, Frank, great song. Secondly, +1 to the Crow soundtrack. That was that, like you say, it was an album that came out. It's stuck with a lot of us, I think. The vocals have been mentioned. I like the way that you drop the lower notes on Grace. I also heard some Metallica. I also heard a little Disturbed in there. And then when it went to the breakdown, there was something that sounded to me like something off of a Dream Theater album. So you've got a lot going on, and all of that's meant absolutely in a complimentary way. Great song. Yeah, and the bit about the hats, get some more hats, man. You're doing a good job. Keep it up.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That's actually that riff that you're talking about in the bridge. That is derived from an Eric Clapton riff, believe it or not. I just metal-fied it.
Yeah, the song that sprang to mind, I think, is Hell's Kitchen of Falling Into Affinity, but don't quote me.
Okay.
Well said, guys. Let's go Greenbeard, then Redbeard this time.
Okay, Frank, I was really impressed. I picked up on the aggression, the anger in your voice, which was actually a contrast from what I was expecting. You know, I'm looking at you, and you seem like a friendly like guy there, and happy and everything. And then I think, well, where's the? And I like that. I like that. I thought it was very, I'll say, eclectic. As a form of rock, because I could feel like there was like the grunge in there, and there was the metal in there, and the hard rock, and all the different elements of rock were all kind of married into the one there, which was great. And I thought the video was, I say, exciting. You know, there were lots of changes and lots of different color filters and everything. I thought it worked like really well. So yeah, I was really impressed with it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mr. Story?
Yeah, hey Frank. First of all, compliments on your studio.
Thanks,
is that
man.
your studio? That is
Yeah,
some space you got there.
You can't see all of it from this angle, but all my goodies are right here.
Oh yeah, I can't see you at the moment. Oh, there you are. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's awesome. I love the red as well. It's a lovely, lovely color.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
When you wrote, you wrote all that yourself, yeah?
I did, yeah, everything.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I'm from the same camp. I always think it's a bit like when you're writing a song and you're doing everything and you're playing everything and you're producing everything. It's like I always akin it to like you've got all these ideas floating in orbit around your brain. You've got bass lines, you've got guitar licks, you've got guitar chords, you've got vocals, you've got lyrics. And bit by bit, you pluck them out of orbit, put them into place, and eventually come up with your thing. That was a really great track, very unique. You've had a lot of comparisons, and I agree with them all, especially the Disturbed one, the vocals mainly. But you have got a unique sound. It's very, I don't know what the rest of your stuff's like, but that's got very industrial metal groove to it, which I'm a big fan of anyway.
Thanks.
Because it's just got that crunch and that punch, you know, like the
Yeah.
Rob Zombie and people like that. So yeah, it's really cool, man. It's really good. Once again, I've found you, I've subscribed, and I've liked to your videos. So it's all
I
good stuff.
appreciate it.
It's
I'm
all good
interested
stuff.
what you hear on the other ones too. That's cool.
Yeah, I look forward to exploring what you do. Yeah, it's interesting.
Make
Especially
sure you
always
all add
exploring
Frank
artists.
Palangi. Make sure you all add him on Facebook, because I'm his friend. You'll find him on Facebook, no problem. And I'm sure he'll try and help your music get out there as well. So more than
Okay,
just
yeah, yeah.
more
No, I
than
was
just
really
a
impressed with
normal
it, man.
guest here. He's a guest who can help you as well, you know.
Yeah, I do a lot of Instagram lives and a lot of interviews and stuff lately too. So
Well,
Okay, yeah, well, I really enjoyed it. I look forward to see what other little tools you got in your arsenal, if you don't mind me saying it that way, because I think there's quite a lot of depth to your music than what we've
Thanks.
just seen. And that is a great tune, but I get the feeling there's more, you know, differences and different sort of styles and that. So, and I like that, you know, it keeps you interested. So yeah, cool stuff, man. Nice to meet you.
thanks, man. Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah.
so Heston, Black Nova, and Carrie, what would you like to say before we get to your two
Yeah,
sections?
I thought it was a hell of a one-man show. You know, when you don't know artists, you know, intimately already, when you see something like that for the first time, the first thing you're wondering is this a band? And then you recognize that, oh, this is the same cat doing all of these different instruments. And so along with that video editing, man, that was a hell of a one-man show.
Thanks,
The
man.
drumming, you know, drumming with the hood on the head gave you the boy next door like feeling. But I was really surprised to hear that voice coming out of that face. But that video editing,
I'm very low key, so it's like people are surprised
Right.
till I
Yeah.
sing. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Show.
Well said. Black Nova's a fantastic producer, so he is. So Heston and Carrie, what's your thoughts before we get to the two sections from California here?
You know, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not a metal fan, but I enjoyed what you did, and I really liked the song. You know,
Thanks,
when you first came on, I'm like, oh boy, but then no.
Well, I'm a Manson head, so I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it, and then what really impressed me, what Mark said. You got all these ideas coming out the sky. You're plucking them, you're pulling them, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it came together right.
Yeah, you did a hell of a job. And then for you to be homeless for 3 months, that's an extra a story right there. You know, I've learned that it's not only the music, it's the story.
Yeah.
You know, that elevates the music. It's like you got the cake, and then the music is the icing on the cake. So
nice story.
Bravo.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks, man.
Well said, well said. Does Carrie want to add anything before we jump to you guys?
Well, I thought it was great.
You love it. You loved it. You thought it was great.
Mom's a lady of few words.
Great's good too.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. Look, Frank Palangi, until the next time, brother, because I know you're going to be back here. Thank you, dude. Stay around as long as you can, and anything that you miss, you'll see. And I'll have an article with it all in it within a couple of days, and you'll certainly get to see what you miss here.
I could stay around for one more here, and then I've got a radio show, a couple other things I got to do.
Right.
But yeah, hit me up anytime, guys, and I'll try to get you involved with everything.
Well said, well said. Frank Palangi, everyone. Thank you. Cheers, brother. Cheers. So I'm going to pass the mic over to my soon-to-be co-host, Heston. We're going to do some type of show together on a regular basis. Heston, would you like to feature your mum's song or Black Nova with your mum's song first? Do you have a choice? If you want Frank to hear it, would there be one?
Yeah, I want Frank to hear it. You know, I want Frank to hear High Beams.
Well, that's the one I was going to play. So you introduce Black Nova. Black Nova, introduce yourself, and what's the story behind the song? Yeah, High Beams.
I've had the most wonderful time telling the story, the Cleveland family story. That's all I've been doing, is just listening to these wonderful, you know, tales about their life, you know, from the inception of them, of Mr. Bill Cleveland, you know, pulling the family together as a band and orchestrating these songs and putting this band together and placing her out front, and then all of the family details, you know, in their daily life. That's all I did, was take those stories and put them in song form and put some pictures to them. It's a beautiful thing.
So yeah, you know, it's also a story behind us. My dad had a band back in the early mid 70s and early 80s into early 90s, and they toured around. You know, they had a nice following before the internet. My father died, and my mom, you know, she did most of the back dates, dating back like, you know, 4 years, and got discriminated against. I got it, man. I got discriminated against, and we stopped. So we came to meet Black Nova, and my mom, you know, after the reissue, my mom was interested in starting to sing again. And you know, I talk a lot. So I shared my story with Black Nova, and he offered to put what you're about to see together.
It's absolutely fantastic. And I saw you on Fox News, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So it's Black Nova featuring Carrie Cleveland, and the song is High Beams. Enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
I know what I'm doing.
Divine noise.
They're prone to sleep on the unknown and forget you when you're gone.
2022, Black Nova featuring Miss Carrie Cleveland. Tap, tap, Miss Carrie, awake from your beauty nap.
The disco queen is back on the scene, doing what you've never seen. So fresh, so clean. from a beauty nap. The world changes in a snap, but I never lost my place. In all of this time and space, you still haven't figured out how the tortoise bends the race. I'll make sure never again you miss my face. Vintage, I'll show you how to maintain class. Always stains, must be beauty and praise. Hear the voice of wisdom. I am the heat of the flame. Pink pain.
The fumes from the funk don't expire. It'll set your hearts on fire. Miscarry.
You can't see me.
Shut up at the high beam.
Blazing on the high beam.
Living on the high beam. The fumes from the funk don't expire. It'll set your hearts on fire. Miscarry.
You can't see me.
Shut up at the high beam.
Living on the high beam. They say hard times are coming, but not for this woman. I've already paid my dues. Gonna kick my feet up when things start to heat up and watch the rest of you. I took a break for a half of a century.
A half of a century. A half of a century.
In 2022, you'll mention me. I'm for your well-being. That's heartfelt. That's why I clear a trapping house with a switch and a belt. 4 scores and 1. I can teach your father how to be a better son. Back with Black Nova on a natural high. So tired of being so alive.
The fumes from the funk don't expire. It'll set your hearts on fire. Miscarry.
You can't see me.
Shut up at the high beam.
Blazing on the high beam.
Living on the high beam. The fumes from the funk don't expire. It'll set your hearts on fire. Miscarry.
You can't see me.
Shut up at the high beam.
Living on the high beam.
Living on the high beams. Black Novas in the building. Now, Miss Cleveland, you can't be taking no more beauty naps.
That's for sure. Back for 44 more.
We're a match made in heaven. Yeah. And we're so good together. We're so good together. The fumes from the funk don't expire. It'll set your hearts on fire. Miscarry.
You can't see me.
Shut up at the high beam.
Blazing on the high beam.
Living on the high beam. The fumes from the funk don't expire. It'll set your hearts on fire. Miscarry.
You can't see me.
Shut up at the high beam.
Living on the high beam.
Living on the high beams.
As long as you and I, it's your time. I'm making the best of mine.
Yeah, you always say that.
Oh, that's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you.
Miss Carrie Cleveland. Carrie, you must be nearly 60 years old now, you know.
I'm older.
Do you know something? You're an absolute inspiration, and aren't you? You're absolutely beautiful. You're still absolutely gorgeous. I can't honestly, Heston, you must be so proud, and I know you are. Nobody loves their mama like Heston loves his mama. We all love our mamas as well, but Heston just edges it. You can just tell. And Black Nova, magic work, dude, just brilliant. So we'll do a quick run round, and then we'll get Carrie's solo song on. So let's go, Sabina, then Russ.
Yeah, what a great production and what a great song. And I mean, the video is really mind-blowing. I really loved it. And if I may ask, the blue theme, like what is
I asked Moms what her favorite color was. She said royal blue, so I made it a royal blue day. You know, and my wife came up with the royal blue flowers to top it off. So Yeah. I wanted to give her everything that she ever wanted, and possibly never gotten, and she hadn't had a music video before now. Now she's got two with a third one in the making. So.
Wow, congratulations, really.
These are a great team. Russ, then Mark's story.
Yeah, man, I loved it. First of all, I just want to say it is an inspiration, to see, you doing this, and is wonderful. And as far as the production, man, I got a kind of a Dr. Dre kind of vibe from what was going on in the video, and the beat, and which I like, man. I was feeling it, and then. But overall for me, and you did a wonderful job. Overall for me, the theme to me just kept coming out that this was not about a cute little princess. This is the queen, right? And so I got that whole vibe from this is a mature queen, and I loved it. I thought it was wonderful. I thought you did a great job, and I'm a little curious where you got the idea for high beams. If there's a little story behind that, I'd love to hear it.
Divine Noise out of Phoenix, Arizona. He's my graphics designer. He put the face on Black Nova. He's also a photographer and a videographer, and he's a musician too. So he does music tracks, and he had been just sending me tracks, and I had a little folder of his tracks and went through, and this high beams, track always seemed to come out, at me. So for about 2-3 years, it had just been sitting back in the vault. That and two other songs that we used for her comeback, of which we have 5 originals on top of what my co-producer Ricardo Love has done. But High Beams was the title of that track, and it just seemed to fit. So I wrote around it, and it very much does have that Warren G-Funk.
And could I add in the story is coming back after 45 years and put back into the indie music. We didn't come back from the bottom. We came back from the top. So you can't see us.
Yeah, I think of Miss Carey as the uncrowned underground queen of disco. I mean, she was so magnificent right here up under our nose the whole time. So I'm really for crowning the unsung heroes.
Well said. Everyone support Carrie Cleveland and Black Nova for that matter, but more so like Miss Carrie Cleveland, just wonderful. Mr. Story, then Frank Palangi, in case he has to run, we'll give him one of the next compliments. Mark Story, then Frank.
I liked it. I liked the video, how it was directed and shot. What was the location you shot at? Because that was kind of interesting with the paintings on the walls. And did you have to set all that up?
Yeah, the paintings of our butlers on the wall. Yeah, all of her butlers from Dave. It was a vintage house over in San Francisco. I scaled a lot of different locations, but this one I just had to have, and I paid a pretty penny for it.
It looked good. It looked good. I thought maybe it was kind of like a club or something like that too. Maybe you guys used or something.
Yeah, I had some in mind, but that house it wouldn't let me go.
No, sometimes that's how it works. I give you credit for coming back after all these years and going for it with 5 songs.
Oh yeah, we got a few club bangers coming. We have a new jazz song that she's laid down, Meet Me After Work.
Okay.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming.
Nice. It's a collaborated thing. We got the originals that were reissued, and then Uncle Mario Total Media along with Ricardo Love remixed and mastered 5 songs. And you're going to hear one of those I guess next.
Yep.
Love Will Set You Free. It's
nice.
It's her most popular song, and Ricardo Love did something really nice to that.
Yeah.
And then along with the original songs with Black Nova, The year is just starting. You guys keep watching us. We're going to blow your minds.
It's Carry 2022. We'll bang in some club somewhere near you, as I promise.
Yeah. We also have a book in the works, you know, telling our story. So
nice.
You know,
I would like to say, if you can get song bios to me, then I'll put each one of your songs actually into a press release and actually write them up like a newspaper article. If you can supply song bios, that goes to anybody, but especially to you now, you know. So let's go, Mr. Story, then Elsa. We've still got 5 compliments in this round here. Mr. Story, then Elsa.
My man, hi guys.
Me?
Hiya.
Hi.
Good to meet you.
Yeah. Well. Oh, you. Sorry, it's Mark.
It's Mark and then Elsa. That's what it's my Scottish voice. I always distract people, but let's go ladies first. Elsa, then Mark. Mark doesn't mind. Elsa, you go first, dear.
Sorry.
You're first. Elsa.
Yeah, I thought it was a very epic blue. It was really nice choice, and I like the location, and it was I like the groovy music. So it's a nice video. So
thank you,
one of you.
Well done.
Thanks for making this video.
Beautiful, isn't it?
More to come.
Well said. Mr. Story, then Mr. Christian.
Are you sure? Before I start speaking, are you sure? Yeah. Hi guys, good to meet you. Really nice to meet you. What can I say? You know that expression, feel the love. Yeah, it's thrown around. Feel the love, feel the love. That you can't avoid the love. The love just oozes over you. The love and the respect. Carrie Cleveland, you are a star and a queen to me right now. If you will accept my humbleness to your superior talent.
Well, my mission is complete. If that's what you
She's lost
felt
the word,
coming through, my mission is complete.
Absolutely blew me away. That's awesome. Awesome. I love the video, I love the song, love the production, love the vocals, everything about it. Really, really cool.
And love your stuff, Mark. Love your stuff right off the bat. And I got lost in your stuff as soon as I found it.
Hey, that's what Mark said during the week. Last week, he goes, Black Nova Entertainment. He says, I know it's a connection for you. Look, he says, look at the beautiful comments I'm getting for this bunch. So
that blew me away.
It was actually,
bro. I could feel
actually
you
shed
too.
a tear with happiness. Right there you go. That's how much it meant to him. So there you go, friends. This is the place where friendships are made. Lee, and then Nathan, and then Steve, and you're only halfway through your section. We need to do all this again for you guys right now. So Lee, Nathan, then Steve.
I'm a new soul guy, so like love like D'Angelo, Maxwell, Erykah Badu, all that kind of stuff, and so that was like right up my street entirely. And then I love the vocal because it's the kind of vocal it's got this like really classy vibe about it that usually it's the kind of thing that on a hip hop track they would have sampled from an old record. So it's really lush to have, you know, like the actual voice that they be sampling, but, you know, fresh and just, you know, like sung in modern day, if that makes any sense at all. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's just like, yeah, just gorgeous. Like the hook is, you know, great. And the tone of your voice is just, yeah, just classic. So, and full of oozes class, you know, the kind of thing that you'd be like, if you found it as a sample, you'd be like, oh, I've got to use this. Like, so yeah, and just the whole groove, everything. That guitar player, I don't know who played the guitar, but that's some nice little. I love the, you know, the when they do the type thing, and you know, with the little bit of delay on it and stuff. Mike Scott from Prince's band always would do a lot of that kind of. Yeah, like so, yeah, really into that. And again, like when I saw Maxwell live, you know, they had very much that kind of, because it's really it's a subtly forceful funk, if you know what I mean, because it keeps it pushing along all the time, like but it's smooth, you know, on the top, if you know what I mean. So yeah,
my co-producer Ricardo Love, sometimes he sounds like Jimi Hendrix, other times he sounds like Carlos Santana. He has a ton of jazz tracks just sitting back in volumes, and people think he's Earl Klugh. So
I was going to say, I'm excited to hear the jazz song with her. Sorry, I forgot your name, but it's absolutely like your voice is spot on, like a diamond that you've unearthed and reset. Yeah.
Well said. Honestly,
humbly accept all of that. Thank you.
Well said, Lee. Well said. So let's Nathan, then Steve, and then we'll go on to Carrie's solo song. Nathan.
The first word that springs to mind when I heard that song, glamorous. That's top shelf. That is everything you want that song to be. Well done to all of you. That had a relaxed Sunday afternoon vibe. I'm sitting by the pool. I've got a cold drink in my hand. I've got no worries in the world. I've got half a dozen beautiful ladies walking past. As we saw in the video, does life get any better than that? I don't know. That was a great song, and I was sitting here just tapping my foot the whole time. Well done, guys. I really enjoyed that. Glamorous.
Well said, dude. Before you go, Steve, I'd just like to welcome Heather to the show. She's also a music podcaster. She likes to interview people. She's interviewed some high-level people. So one radio guy out the door, and then Heather's just come in. So welcome, Heather. Steve Andrews, what was your thoughts there on Black Nova and Carrie Cleveland, that amazing track?
My first thought was amazing, because I was just absolutely knocked out by all of it. And as Nathan was just saying, glamorous, classy. I feel like I was feeling it as well. I was kind of grooving along to it, because it just got to me. It was just so that good. And something that a word that nobody has actually used, but came to me as well. I was thinking of the video. It was kind of dreamy. There was a dreamy kind of feel to it as well, which I really liked. And so the whole thing, the production, absolutely everything about it was just top class. It was just a fantastic work all around.
Well said, well said. And how suave did Heston look as well? Heston, you looked at $1 million in that, dude. You looked good yourself there, man. So you did. So, right, that's one half. There's Black Nova. Until the next time, Black Nova. Thank you, brother. And we're not going very. Love you, man. Right. So coming up next is Carrie Cleveland. Could you introduce yourself? I know you almost have, but Carrie Cleveland and the story behind "Love Will Set You Free," or even more, the story behind the song. We all know who you are. So, what's the story behind "Love Will Set You Free"? Yeah.
Tell me about Dad writing it.
Well, I don't talk very much, but
I guess she just elbowed me, so I guess I better tell the story. My father had a garage studio, and I was blessed because they got married 2 times, and I was the best man at the second wedding. I wasn't born at the first wedding, but the second wedding, I was there. My father wrote love songs. He wrote love letters to my mom. And the story about love will set you free. If you're down and out, fall in love, love will set you free. Now, that was the original, and that one has over 1 million streams. So Ricardo Love offered to do the remix. So we came up with the remix. He did a dance video, and now we're working on a dance competition. People send in your video to the music, and we're going to have a dance contest. So that's the story about the remix. I don't know.
Everybody froze in place. I think everybody.
No, Sparky must have.
Thank you for explaining that, Heston. And Sparky appears to have, I don't know, is Sparky gone? And anyway, I'm the host now. So I don't know how all this works, but hopefully, we can hear the song now.
Great.
Sparky just
maybe
just by the way, it's nice to meet you all. For those of you in the UK, I actually spent about almost 8 months in the UK back in 2007. I'm responsible for the testing and commissioning of your new TTS-5 train system there at the London Heathrow, New Glass Terminals 4 and 5. I was central control train control operator. And so I trained all those guys there. And then I got homesick and came back to the US, but I almost stayed in Heathrow.
You missed the California sun, I bet.
Oh, well, at the time, the British pound was twice the value of the US dollar.
So that made it worth it. Yeah, sure. 8 months.
Yeah.
8 months for that money.
Yeah, mind the gap. Mind the gap. Yeah.
Okay, Mark, I got you. I got your message. Make sure when this is over, send me the track and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, cool, bro. Yeah, I definitely will. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's some dope stuff, man.
Where is he? Where is Mark?
I'm hoping Sparky comes back because I'm feeling like how do we continue with the music now? I mean, is there somewhere press play, because I don't know where it is. So,
well, no, not that I know of. I think Sparky's in charge of the press play part of it.
This is what I thought, and it's just suddenly.
Yeah, there should be a screen share application at the bottom. If you hit that green screen share and then hit the video, we should be able to see.
I can see the share screen. Oh.
Yeah, then we should be able to see what you see. Man, this is an awesome experience. It never would have been possible in times past. It was a hard copy transfer, and now you can digitally hook up with all you people, from across the world. And it's really a day that the independent artist can really make a way for themselves, by collaborating with people who tie into the spirit of what each of us are doing and pushing our names around. It's really making a lot of things possible.
Yeah, you kind of got to have your own network now, don't you?
Yeah. Hey, but at least you build it and nobody can take it away,
That's true.
There we go.
Yeah. In the industry, if they want to make you unpopular for whatever reason, they can do it with a little bit of publicity. But this that you build for yourself, nobody can take that away.
Or make it worse with no publicity at all.
all publicity is good.
No, some lights you don't want to be seen in.
No, because other people don't see.
Yeah, well, would you
I don't care.
Would you like publicity as a pedophile? I don't think that's pedophile. I don't think that's a publicity you want.
Now you way off.
That's what I'm saying.
Way off.
Not all publicity do you want?
No, I'm talking about music, man.
Steve Andrews, you're screen sharing.
I'm talking about music.
Choke the shit out of Mark over there.
No.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in Discord now, and I'm basically lost. And I'm just looking like it says, "Get your air horn ready," because these 4 new Nitro perks
turn off the screen sharing, bro.
We don't need that.
Turn off the screen sharing.
I hear him.
There he is. He's back. He's back to take control.
Steve Andrews, you have to turn off your screen.
Grab the ship, Captain Kirk.
Oh dear.
There he is.
I had to remove you as a co-host.
Let's have a jam.
Mark's got the controls. It's all good.
That was kind of weird.
So what happened was my housemate tried to get the password. It's a new password. And I've got all these set back on. Right, 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Somebody's going to have to mute their microphone due to the.
I've got 2 there. That's what it was. Now I need to go back to recording. 1, 2, 3. Back to live on this one. Yeah, the power cable got pulled out by mistake there, so there's nothing we can do about it apart from just start again for the start of the carry section. It was at the end of our section anyway, so that's not so bad.
Yeah, it was the Ricardo Love remix of Love Will Set You Free video.
Right, so now I can go one. That needs to be the full host. What a pain in the bum this is. Right, so 1, 2, 3, make normal host so that I can. Oh, it's still live on YouTube, so it's fine. The live is still working. Let's start the recording again. Hi, welcome back to the 1010 podcast, episode 40. We had a little bit of a power outage there, but we're back, so not to worry. So where were we, ladies and gentlemen? We had Carrie Cleveland with Love Will Set You Free. Heston, you were telling us the story behind that song. Could you tell us again, what's the story behind it?
Okay, the original Love Will Set You Free was wrote by my father, Bill Cleveland. He had a studio in the back. My mother, it's the love song. You know, my father wrote love songs to my mom. Married twice. And no, it ended. No, you say married twice. Yeah, I am. I got it. I know the story. You know, he trying to tell me my story, but I know the story. My mom and dad got married twice. I was the best man in the second wedding. And like I said, my father wrote a bunch of love songs, and by the grace of God, Love Will Set You Free took off. So when we met with Black Nova and Uncle Mario Total Media, which now Ricardo Love is a part of, he offered to remix the song and do the video. So the content for the video, the song, is a dance contest because we're bringing back the disco. So the video you're about to see is people dancing, and we want people to submit videos to the music for a dance contest.
What a great reason to write a song. I'm really sorry about that mix up there. Without further ado, let's get this amazing track on for you all to hear. Carrie Cleveland, Love Will Set You Free. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. One love. One love.
And do what you wanna do. Fall in love, I'm And I've been there and I'm here to stay. Yeah, it took love to save my day. And I'm confessing from my heart, yeah, falling in love was my new start. Down when you don't want to be, yeah, fall in love. Love will set you free. Find yourself somebody who feels the same as you. Find a cold place where you can be traced and do what you wanna do. I'm falling in love, I'm falling in love, yeah.
Absolutely wonderful, just magnificent. And I'll come back at this now. Like welcome the Netherlands. Right there. So let's start with the compliments from Steve and then Mark.
I thought that was amazing as well. I was moving along to it, absolutely great. I just loved all of that, the beat of it, the sound, everything. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Well said. Mr. Story?
Yeah, I mean, the voice is still as strong today as it was back then, is it not? Just absolutely outstanding. I mean, it's been an absolute magical experience to meet you and the stories that you're telling. And your mother, Carrie, sorry, but like you are a star. And it's fantastic that your music is still being pumped out there because it deserves to be heard. I noticed that the video for that is 14 years ago that was put on YouTube. So it's been around a while. But yeah, man, it's just the talent is outstanding from all of you. That's just great.
Thank you.
I love it.
Well said, Mark. Elsa, what was your thoughts there?
So like going back in time. I was I enjoyed it. It was I'm not used to listen to this kind of music, but it's quite nice to dance on. So feels like going to a party.
Cool.
Well said, Elsa. Well said. Heather, Heather, what's your location as well? Could you tell us whereabouts you are before you say something, Heather?
Yeah, sure. I'm from Long Island, New York.
New York, nice one, nice one. So Heather, what was your thoughts there on Carrie?
I really enjoyed it. Like Elsa said, I feel like I went back in the past because it sounds like an 80s or a 90s song because of like the disco and the kind of like the funk elements in it. And I thought it was really good overall.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well
if
said.
you could
Dance,
dance,
and then
if you could dance, send us a video.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a few people in the family who can dance, Heston. We should make a little advertisement for you. Russ,
Okay.
and then Lee. Russ.
Well, I can't dance very good, but I will dance. You know, I when people can't see me, I almost started dancing. You know, to that. You know, I thought it was great. The video just really took me back. You know, seeing Fred G. Sanford. The G was for great, right?
Right.
And
graceful.
You know, George Jefferson and Wheezy, and you know, I grew up watching those shows. I'll be 52 this year, so I grew up watching those shows, and I loved it. And let me just say, Miss Carrie, your voice to me has such a quality, like a Sheena Easton type quality to your voice. Wow. I loved it. Thought it was wonderful. You know, when I was a little kid, I was born in 71. So when I was a little kid, our hometown radio station, there wasn't like country radio and, you know, different type. Where I was from in Kentucky, there was one radio station and they played everything. And so I grew up listening to a mixture of, pop music, disco, country, everything. And I love every kind of music and try to find wonderful, but I thought it was great and I loved it. And I laughed out loud. I hope you had me on mute, because when George Jefferson started dancing and all that, I just busted out laughing. So, but great job. I loved it.
Cool, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome that you had such a radio station to grow up off of. Gave you an eclectic taste.
Yes, and I still listen to all. Believe it or not, I mean, I'm country as a turnip green. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm from Kentucky and I write country music and some bluegrass and stuff. But I grew up listening to everything, and I'm so glad that was the case. That I had that opportunity to expand my horizon beyond, just the way out in the country where I grew up.
Right. Likewise.
Thank you.
So Lee, then Nathan, then Sabina, then Pretty. If you heard anything, I don't know if you were in long enough to hear anything, but Lee and then Nathan.
Yeah, I really dug it. I love the I mean, obviously the voice is it's like as everybody's already said, it's like being taken back to the past, because it's like a classic disco vocal, which and then I really liked, I thought it was quite timeless in a way, because you've got your synths bubbling under and everything. The modern remix gives it a kind of push that you could hear it in a modern club, and it wouldn't have to be a retro experience. It could be played in a modern club, and but it still has that shout out to kind of Giorgio Moroder kind of synths and stuff like that. So yeah, I was just really, classic. If I would dance, I can dance and I would dance. So yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Nathan, then Sabina.
Yeah, I was I was getting that disco era vibe as well. Vocally, it reminded me a little of Anita Ward, Ring My Bell. A Taste of Honey, Boogie Oogie. That's the vocal vibe I was getting. I also grew up in a small town that had one radio station, so yeah, I'm a rock guy, but I was getting all sorts of stuff growing up. So but what I will say is I won't be sending in a dance video. Any talent I have is in my hands. It's not in my feet. Great song though. And I love the video. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the names of the actors, but I recognize the people, and I was like, yeah, that's cool vibe. I was digging it. That's good.
So thank you.
Thank
Well said. Sabina, and then Pretty. I don't know if Pretty was in and heard it though. Sabina?
Yeah, I agree with everyone. I mean, it's a great track and, fantastic voice, and it's timeless, I would say, really timeless. And it takes you places and you want to dance, and it's just, really, really awesome, amazing. So
thank you.
We're definitely
well said.
People can dance.
And Pretty Berniki, one of my co-hosts on the 1010p in the show. That's the first one's coming up on Thursday for the piano players of the family. Were you in? Did you hear any of that song there? I know you just came in at the end, but
yeah, it came in at the end. Yes, unfortunately I have missed it, most of it. So I will look back later. But it's a pleasure to meet you all here tonight.
Thanks, dear. Do you know that Carrie Cleveland? She's actually she's 82 years old. Not that she looks it, and she's just given the music another crack at that fine young age. And just respect to you. So I think everyone said something this time. Now the show's running over time, but we just can't do anything about it when there's special people on. So till the next time, Carrie Cleveland, we love you here, and Black Nova, and you, Heston.
Thank you.
Sparky, I'm a message you when I get home, and we'll talk about the radio show.
Absolutely, did. We'll do one of these shows together, but we'll do it your style, and you can bring in people that you know and stuff. But we'll talk about that tomorrow. So we've got another 4 guests, and then we've also got Heather, who's going to show us one of the interviews that she's done. So we'll try and be slightly faster in the second half. I think we're about halfway there. So coming up next, you're going to love this man, Russ Stallings from Nashville. Could you introduce yourself, Russ, and what's the story behind your song "When the New Wears Off"? Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Russ Stallings, and I live in Nashville, Tennessee now. I grew up in Kentucky, and I started getting serious about writing songs about 3 or 4 years ago. Moved to Nashville and have started writing these songs. This particular song, "When the New Wears Off," a friend of mine who he's played guitar in Nashville for years, and if I called names, you'd probably recognize some of the names. But he came to me one day and he said, "Hey, I got a song idea for you." He said, "What about a song called 'When the New Wears Off'?" And I said, that's a good idea. And so I sat down and with a friend of mine, her name is Janine Tarana, and she's from New York, and she had moved to Nashville as well. And we wrote this song together, and it's really about, for me, it's about commitment. My wife and I, in July, we'll be married 30 years. So, you've been with somebody a long time, and, at some point you make a decision, you get to where you even know what the other person's going to say almost before they say it. But so the new can wear off in a relationship. At the beginning of a relationship, it's about, attraction and all of that stuff, which is wonderful. And I'm still attracted to my wife. But if at some point you say, you know what, I'm going to love you no matter, even when the new wears off, the brand new wears off. So that's what the song is really about.
Everything that you do is absolutely wonderful. If you don't know Russ Stallings yet, you're going to absolutely love this man. Without further ado, "When the New Wears Off" by Mr. Russ Stallings. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
I traded my old pickup for a brand new set of wheels. Upgraded my cell phone 'cause it gave me a good deal. My old house, it wasn't big enough, so I bought a brand new spread. Just replaced my laptop 'cause the old one, it was dead. And when the new wears off of you, I thought this whole thing over, and here's what I'm gonna do. I won't ship you off, I won't trade you in, they don't make them like they used to. I'll just love you all over again when the new wears off of you. Some things just get better with the passing of time, like this old handmade saddle or a bottle of red wine. When I was a younger man, I chased the things that shine. Now we're both getting older, but you're still in your prime. When the new wears off of you, I thought this whole thing over, and here's what I'm gonna do. I won't ship you off, I won't trade you in, they don't make them like they used to. I'll just love you all over again when the new wears off of you. When the new wears off of you, I thought this whole thing over, and here's what I'm gonna do. I won't ship you off, I won't trade you in, they don't make them like they used to. I'll just love you all over again when the new wears off of you. Yeah, I'll just just love you all over again when the new wears off for you.
Russ Stallings, everyone.
Yes,
Fantastic,
sir.
good man. Told you.
Yes, sir.
So let's go. Black Nova, Steve Andrews. You're just brilliant. I bigged you up before it. I don't need to compliment you now. Black Nova, Steve Andrews, and then Pretty Berniki, please.
Absolutely love it, man. I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas. I got introduced.
Okay.
Yeah, I got introduced to country growing up on R&B and disco, and then hip hop. I got introduced to country down in Hillsborough, Texas, right north of Waco, in like '87, and fell in love with George Strait, Randy Travis, Steve Warner, Patsy Cline, and all of them. So I like you, because of exposure, have a really big eclectic taste. Like I say, I'm the biggest Marilyn Manson head and brown skin that you'll ever find. Got all this stuff. But this song, clever lyrics, and that's what I love so much about country, man. They tell some of the best stories and word placement and stuff. The sound is absolutely Nashville. It is absolutely a 100% professional product. The mix is everything that you ever hear on CMT. And so, man, you did a hell of a job with this song. And I definitely look forward to hearing more of your stuff, man, because that was a clever writing that you did.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well said, brother. Well said. Steve Andrews, then Pretty Berniki.
Russ, Black Nova just said 100%, and I was thinking the same. I was thinking that is perfect, with a capital P, because everything was, the vocals were absolutely right. It was all mixed really well. The production, fantastic. The lyrics were really good. The whole idea of the song, that was fantastic. And it was just pure country sound there. It was absolutely brilliant. So, absolutely top marks for all of that. And I think, as I said, a perfect production you had there.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Pretty, and then Heather.
Hi, Ross.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. I really love your voice, and I agree on everything that everybody already said. It's a good mix, and it's wonderful music. But what I loved even most was your text. It's because for me it sounded also like a love song. So true. And the way you treat the one you love, your wife, or the one you're married to, or whatever. It's so amazing the words you found to express that. Wonderful, really, really wonderful. I enjoyed listening.
Thank you.
Well said. Heather, and then Nathan, although Medusa Glare, you're up next, but Heather and then Nathan.
Yeah, like what everyone else said, I thought the song was really good. I feel like it definitely deserves to have a lot of coverage and recognition, because it definitely sounds like a song I would listen to on my free time. So good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well said. Nathan, then Sabina.
I think Black Nova said it best. That's Nashville in a snapshot. Great song. I'm a sucker for the steel guitars sitting just back in the mix there. I love that. I think that's a great song that, much like Sabina's song earlier, will be another earworm that will follow me around for the rest of this morning. Great track. Love it, Russ. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well said, dude. Sabina, then Lee.
Yeah, I just agree with everyone. I mean, it's such a perfect song, perfect production. I mean, and a beautiful message as well. And you really loved your voice, that it really feels like you mean every word that you sing. So yeah, and clever songwriting as well. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well said. Lee, you're up next.
Yeah. First off, shout out Nashville. I manage a band in Nashville called TV Sex Death, who are like a noise rock band. So I should hook you guys up, and you can at least go have a drink or something together. But but yeah, I mean, everybody's already said it, but it's perfect. It's totally, I don't know anything about country music, like, so I'm not an expert or anything, but just judging it on, oh my God, like and it's so compact, everything's in there, comes in, tells it, hooks you in with all the lyrics about all the things that you're changing, and then it has every way of saying I don't need to change you, all wrapped up in a awesome, just great songwriting. Like the lyrics just hook you in and keep you throughout it, and then all the production is pristine and like just perfect. It should be, if you haven't got a radio plugger, you should get a radio plugger, because that should be crossing over beyond country. That should be just like one of those famous songs. Even if you can sell it to someone else and they make it huge, just do it. You should be a millionaire. Do you know what I mean? Off the back of that.
Well said, B.
Thank you.
I hate to interrupt, man, but that's exactly what I was thinking. As I was hearing that song, I was wondering, how in the hell is this not coming across radio stations already?
Hey, they're all these songs are the same. Honestly, they're all as good as each other. But check them out, I swear to God. Elsa, what's your thoughts, dear?
Well, the lyrics really touched me, and I found obviously the quality was top notch, and I was like even checking my booty, It's a really great song. The quality is like, the recording quality is amazing, really.
Yeah.
So bravo.
Thank you. Can I give a shout out to my producers? You guys, everybody's talking about the quality of the production, and just to give you an indication of, I owe a lot to those guys for the production. Buddy Hyatt is a producer of mine, and he was with a group called Toto from the 80s, a rock group from the 80s called Toto. They had a song called Africa that went really big. And then also another producer is Zach Allen, and Zach has produced a guy you may not be as familiar with, but his name is Keb Mo. Anybody heard of Keb Mo? But Zach has a Grammy for producing Keb Mo. So, I owe a lot of the production credit to the musicians and the guys that were a part of that. But thank you all. You're so kind.
Well, but you still get Mr. Redbeard. What's you got to say, Marky?
Yeah. Well, country music isn't really. I'm not going to say it's not my genre, because all music is my genre. But one thing I will say about country music is it does tell a good story really well every time. You think Johnny Cash, Boy Named Sue, stuff like that. That song, as everyone has said, it deserves to be a hit. And I love. Do you know what? I mean, the production's great, the song's great, the performance, everything's great. But it's the sentiment that comes out of the tune which sells it. Yeah, and that sentiment of that, it's a lovely love song without being gushy. It's got humour in it. Which I loved. There's certain lines in it. I smiled. That's a good line. I'll have to nick that. But man, it's great, and I think it's a great tribute. It's nice that I think it's great when people have been together a long time and they know each other. It's the same with me and my missus. We've been together about, I don't know how long, but 13, 14 years, and we finish each other's sentences and stuff. And it's a lovely feeling, and I think you paid a great tribute to your lady there. And rightly so. Beautiful tune, man. Really cool. And I sincerely hope you get the radio play you get, because it's top quality. It deserves to be out there, and everyone should be singing it. So
thank you.
Keep it up.
Well, let's help that happen. Well said, everybody. Russ, you're absolutely brilliant, dude. And till the next time, man. If you're going to add Russ on Facebook, he's he's got Russ Stallings as his music page, but if you want to add him as a friend like I have, it's JR Stallings, because if I didn't find your personal profile, you wouldn't be here, dude. So I know that Mr. Story and Mr. Andrews will be dying to add you, so as will Pretty and some others, So Russ, till next time, dude. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'll just give you the rundown of what's left. We've got Medusa Glare, then Elsa, Lee Christian, and Heather Ochina is going to tell us about her podcast and show us one of the big Blue October bases she had on her show, and talk about that, because potentially she'd like to interview some of you as well. So coming up next, represented by Nathan from New Zealand, Medusa Glare. Nathan, could you introduce yourself, and what's the story behind the song Some Things Got to Give? Yeah. You're muted there, brother. Start again. You're muted.
we'll try that again.
Good.
Most people are always telling me to be quiet, and I just did it to myself. So I'm Nathan. I'm the bass player for Medusa Glare. We're a rock band here in Hamilton in New Zealand. So we're in the middle of the North Island of New Zealand. This song, we released it late last year. Something's Got to Give. It's lyrically, it's primarily based on watching somebody self-destruct and not being able to help them. And basically they run to the end of their tether. Lyrically, if you listen to it, there's a couple of other undertones in there about being frustrated and having had enough of certain situations. A few different people have told me that they've heard different lyrical interpretations of the song. So it's a fast-paced rock song. It comes straight out of the gate and it hits you. So I'm really looking forward to having you guys listen to it and see what you think.
Well, without further ado, Medusa Glare with Something's Got to Give. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
I've been watching you from far away, watching every move you make, and I see you got it all worked out, just the way you want it to. I see through you, just another lie, lay down and die. Nobody's buying the story you sell. You think you got us fooled, but we know you too well. So when you're standing outside the gates of hell, ask yourself this question when you hear the bell. Was I right or wrong? Living life up on the red line, burn the candle at both ends, making out that everything's just fine, lying to yourself and friends. I see through you, ain't no way to live. Something's got to give. Nobody's buying the story you sell. You think you got us fooled, but we know you too well. So when you're standing outside the gates of hell, ask yourself this question when you hear the bell. Was I right or wrong? Question when you hear the bell. Was I right or wrong? Was I right or wrong? Yeah.
Absolutely awesome, dude. Fantastic, fantastic. So where do I start? I'm going to start down the bottom again. Black Nova, Steve Andrews, and then Pretty, please.
And this is the reason why I'm here. There are some of the baddest, musicians, and acts out here that people would never know of, except for platforms like this where people can be seen and get their just due. That was an awesome production. The musicianship is dead on. The images you picked for your video really brought the point through with those lyrics. The only thing that I thought was that the lead vocal list could be stronger. But other than that, man, you guys really got something going there.
Thanks,
Well
man.
said,
Cheers.
well said, Black Nova. And dude, you can come any of these shows. You don't need to wait till you're a guest. You can come and, you can. I'm going to be doing them every day now, at least once a day, because I'm now comfortable in life, and I'm going to be doing these shows every day. So I will send you messages to let you know what type of shows are on, and come as a reviewer anytime. So Steve, then Pretty, then Russ.
Nathan, basically, I agree again with Black Nova. I thought that was just a fantastic song, rock song. It rocked, all the music was played so well, the production was great, and just a top rock song. I was really impressed with that.
Yes.
Well said. Pretty, then Russ.
I also think it's a solid rock song, and especially you are telling a story, and I really love when people are telling a story on good music. So, and I think you just did it. So wonderful, really good.
Thank you.
Well said. Russ, then Mark, story.
Yeah, I love the music. I was tapping my foot along, to the beat. I love the way that musically it was going, and just the lyric is great. Obviously, we've all had those moments in our lives when kind of the mask has come off of someone or something, a system or whatever it may be, politically or whatever it may be, and we see through the mask. And so that's where it took me, and I love that. And can I just say, in agreement with Black Nova, I would love to hear a collaboration between the band I just heard and the first dude from New York with the Metallica voice. I can't remember everybody's name.
Right.
But man, you put his voice with that band, that would be phenomenal. But anyway, that's my take. I thought it was great.
And I'm sorry, I really hated to have to say that, because I'm a vocalist myself, and art is so subjective. Everything is a matter of taste. My wife doesn't like Brian McKnight and Eric Benet. So art is really subjective, because they are awesome. But the only thing that I missed saying was the chord changes in that song, where y'all took that song musically. Man, that was so dope. People make songs and it just be here all throughout the song with a hiccup here. But y'all really took that song somewhere, man, and brought it back. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I didn't mean any disrespect to the guy singing, by the way. I just, the first guy that went, his voice was so awesome. And then you guys, anyway, no disrespect to the guy singing. Sorry.
Not at all.
Not at all, dude. Pretty, did you say something there? Or did I bypass you, Pretty? Did you say?
I thought I just gave comments.
Yeah, you did. Sorry, I was multitasking at the same time there. So Mark and then Heather. I had to send somebody something there. So Mark, story, then Heather.
Yeah, man. I mean, that you did give us fair warning. You said straight out of the gate it's going to hit you, and it did. I mean, the minute I heard that, I was like, I can't wait to hear this, and it didn't let me down. It's what I love about it is the energy in the song. It really is like up tempo, and it's got tons of energy. But the bit that really got me was I'm assuming it's the chorus where you do a descending vocal along with the guitars, and that hook was just, that blew me away. It reminded me a little bit. I know it sounds crazy. Sort of can imagine Alice Cooper singing that. Do you know what I mean? He's got that kind of drawl, the way he sings it. But that chorus is to die for. Great song, man. Awesome. Really, really cool. Really cool. Nice one.
Thanks, Mark. Cheers.
Well said, dude. Heather, what was your thoughts?
I really enjoyed it. I really like the content of it. Like, I think that the footage used in the music video was fitting for the lyrics because I feel like the images that were used kind of added like a layer of depth to some of the lines that might have like a theme of like, I guess mystery, or it might seem a little mystique. So I really liked that aspect of the video and the song, and it makes me like want to listen to more music that's part of that genre. Like I guess you could say like in the punk and the rock genre, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that song definitely sort of dips a toe in the punk pond, I guess. It's one of our more faster, frenetic songs. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well said. Sabina, then Lee, and then our next guest is Miss France. Sabina?
Yeah, I thought it was a really, really great and strong, super powerful rock song, really, and with a very catchy chorus, just like Mark mentioned. Like, it really got me. It was very, very interesting and very, still rings in my ear. And fantastic musicianship as well, and great energy. And
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Well said. Mr. Lee, Christian, and then Elsa's after it. Lee?
Yeah, it's totally up my street. I like the semi-anti-establishment lyrics. You can read it a lot of different ways, but yeah, that's totally to me it was weird because it's like it's got that obvious 3-piece sound, like a Therapy. I don't know if you know Therapy with the question mark, Irish band. Yeah, it's got that kind of a sound to it, but it seemed like on almost like a Velvet Revolver type song with like the classic kind of slashisms in the guitar fills and the descending vocal part, which sounded very much like what Scott Weiland would do in Velvet Revolver as opposed to Stone Temple Pilots. So yeah, I was really on top of it. The question I have about the lead singer is, how does it feel to have him growing out the top of your head? Because that must be painful.
Well, I mean, I could do this and then he's gone.
Oh yeah, that's if only most people could do that to their lead singers, they'd be a lot happier, right?
Hey, Lee, watch this in. Watch this in. Bet you can't do that.
I'm too low on the ground to do that.
I'm not even telling you how to do that. Well said. Elsa, what's your thoughts before we get to your section?
Well, I'm a very huge fan of rock music, so I really love this video, and the solo was awesome, and I found the chorus very, very catchy as well. So yeah, just awesome work.
Thank you.
Well said, well said. So Nathan, thanks for getting up at a very unearthly hour. You know, you're up 3, 4, 5 in the morning, something like this.
Yeah, it was 5 a.m. to be here, but it was worth it. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, hopefully it's the first of many, dude. And you know, there's only 2 musicians left to go here, and then we're going to chat about Heather's podcast. And I'm actually going to ask Heather if she wants to do a one-on-one podcast with me, so we can really document your podcast, Heather. And I'll hand deliver it to everyone in the family that you're interested in having on your show. So we've got 2 more songs to go. Plus Heather's going to introduce herself, and we've got a bit of a really, really cool interview to show of Heather's. So thank you, Nathan. Coming up next, Elsa, could you introduce yourself? Who is Elsa, and what's the story behind your song Muddy Memory? Muddy Honky. That's another band, sorry, never mind me. Muddy Memory, what's the story behind that? Why did you write that song?
Well, I wrote that song like years ago, but I decided to record it like only during the lockdown. I took the opportunity of being stuck at home and to actually record that song, and it was recorded with I was in France, and the sound engineer was in England, so we recorded through Skype, and it's a love song, but it's not like the greatest love song. Actually, it's more like when someone is you know, when you split and it doesn't go very well, so it's kind of yeah, it's not like the sweetest love song, I'll say. But it always I decided to record it because every time I was playing it live, I noticed that people were really enjoying it, you know. And so next step, I think the next step will be to make a video. I need ideas, so I'm not sure yet.
Honestly, you're wonderful. So without further ado, Elsa and her track Muddy Memory. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. One love. No, but I've got to say, Elsie, one of them like really like haunting voices. It's like, you know, I think that you've got the most haunting voice I've heard, like in a good way. It's like, ooh, it's like I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but well done, well done, well done. Let's start up the top here. Let's go Mark Story, then Russ Stallings.
Elsa, first of all, complimenting you on your fantastic song, fantastic vocals. I love the guitar playing as well. I could hear that song in a film noir. You know, I could hear that playing in the background of a dark, mysterious film. It's just outstanding. The vocals remind me a little bit of an artist called Melanie, which is going way back. But you're a better singer than her. So yeah, really impressed. Really good. Really good. Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
Well said. Russ, then Pretty.
Yes, I agree with everything that's been said so far, and a wonderful job. And there's a lot of strength in your voice. I can hear it. There's strength in your voice, but yet at the same time, it's that, like Mark said, that haunting and almost a sadness quality in your voice. Now, I'm not saying you're a sad person. I'm saying there's a sadness that comes through in your voice in that song, particularly, that you can feel that. And I'm quite sure other people are connecting with that.
Yep.
Not only the lyrics of the song, but that your voice matches the lyrics of that song, and it comes across in that. And so I'm not sure if what I'm saying is making sense, or if everyone's understanding what I'm trying to say, but a wonderful job. And I hear exactly what has been said previously, that you have a special quality to your voice that not everyone can do. And so that's very special, something to be very proud of. Yeah.
Well said, Russ. See, I'm hearing like a little bit of Bjork. If any of you know who BJORK is, Bjork, you know, she's like very niche, but awesome. You know, Pretty Baniki, then Steve Andrews, please.
I was very amazed about the power in your voice, because when you speak, your voice is so much softer. And then the first time you actually gave that power, I was so surprised. And you really blew me away. It's wonderful. But I agree with the others also. In the dark parts, when your voice is real soft, it's some special vibe you give. You I don't know how you say it, but anyway, it's a special vibe in your music, and it's I think you can do a lot.
Thank you very much.
Well said. Look at her big smile. That's awesome. Steve Andrews, then Heather.
Elsa, I was, you know, like everybody else, absolutely impressed with your outstanding vocals. And I was thinking, you know, I was trying to work out who you reminded me of, and I couldn't get it. It was somebody, you know, some famous singer with, again, absolutely outstanding vocals. And Sparky came up with who it is, Bjork. You've got that kind of quality. And also, you know, I think like what Pretty was just saying, I was just really kind of surprised, because I'm hearing you talking to us all here, and then and you're like, you know, softly spoken, but then when I heard you, you know, singing that song, there was so much power in your voice, and it was amazing. And also I liked the kind of, you know, the just acoustic guitar kind of behind it, which was like a contrast to the power of your vocals. So the whole thing, you know, it was, it really just, it hit me with power, with the power of your vocals. Wonderful work.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well said, as always did. Heather, then Nathan.
Yeah, like what was mentioned earlier, I feel like there was kind of a tone of sadness in your voice, but you have amazing vocals, and I really like the softness of the song, and I found it to be very soothing. I enjoyed it very much.
Thanks, Heather.
Nathan, then Black Nova.
Yeah, for me, I was getting some different vibes. Everything that's been said, I agree with totally. I was impressed with your vocal range. You get up right high and you come down low and still hold the notes with nice clarity and good timbre. I was getting a little bit of Joan Baez here and there. I don't know if anyone else was, but yeah, great upbeat acoustic song. I thought it was great.
See, and that's the thing, because there wasn't a video, we couldn't even see her playing her guitar. She's also playing the guitar in it as well. So I can't wait till you get a video, actually, Elsa. Black Nova, Sabina, then our next guest, Lee. So Black Nova.
Yeah, you guys nailed it with the Joan Baez and Bjork comparisons. It was really something hearing that voice come out of all that politeness. And so that was real treat. The chord changes were nice. I was just sitting here thumping with my foot, a kick drum, and I'm like, oh man, I would love to have that one just to experiment with, So, but it's a really nice song as is. But yeah, I would love to have that one to play with, to add on to it and see where it goes.
Hey, Elsa, hit up Black Nova. He's a serious producer. That's an offer from you there, so make sure you check him out. Well done, brother. Sabina, and then Lee. Sabina, what's your thoughts here?
Yeah, you have such a haunting, beautiful voice, and the vibrato in your on those lower and higher, notes was just mind blowing, really beautiful, and yeah, so soothing and really, really beautiful in every way. So.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Well said. I can't stop looking at people's smiles when they get compliments. It makes me so happy. Lee, Mr. Christian, what's your thoughts, brother?
Yeah, totally. I was going to say, it's like if Jefferson Airplane had been recorded by PJ Harvey or something. So it had like a kind of, because it had quite a modern, its jangliness was in definitely a post-90s kind of indie jangle to it, but like the power of the vocal and the songwriting reminded me a lot of Jefferson Airplane and stuff. So yeah, so Grace Slick and PJ Harvey, can't really say much more, but yeah, really loved it. Yeah, very unique and individual as well. It's your own thing that nobody else is going to be able to tread on or do you know what I mean? Which is the ultimate thing to look for in an artist. So yeah, I loved it.
Well said, Lee. Well said, everyone. So Elsa, I hope if it made your day bringing this show. Elsa from France, everyone. Thank you, dear. Till the next time.
It's really nice to have feedbacks,
Honestly, we're building a music family here, and we've got hundreds of people in the family, and everyone's starting to become friends a little bit. So, I mean, Heather's new, Nathan's new here, Lee's new, Elsa's new. Black Nova's been around. Russ has just joined recently. Pretty is one of my admins in all my groups. So is Steve and Mark. So Sabina's just joined as well in the last month. So I mean, come on, these shows get all your songs featured. That's what my goal is, and they come with article write-ups. We've got Spotify playlists as well that we put these songs onto the Spotify playlist, and only the featured songs. Not that I've started promoting these playlists yet, but in the future they will be big, I'll tell you. So Elsa, thanks. Honestly, thanks, dear. So I could talk for fun.
Thanks, Sparky, for having me.
No worries. So our last played song of the evening, then we're going to go into Heather's section. Lee, Christian, I'm going to feature, you do solo stuff, you're in bands, you manage people. There's one of your bands called Smilex, or sorry if I'm not saying it, or Smile with an X.
That's right. Yeah,
Dead Man's Dirge. What's this story? Who is Lee?
Yeah, I mean, my band Smilex, we're actually reforming this year after being on hiatus for about 10 years, and this song is actually about 15 years old. Yeah, it's actually I'm not trying to get anyone out or whatever, but it was at like a kind of a very strange point in my life, and I was in a K-hole. If anybody knows what that is without going too much into it, and wrote this song, and I was at a party where people were just around like zombies, and I wrote a song, and then it got locked in my brain, and then later on I heard a song that was playing at the party when I wrote the song in my head, and then I quickly got all the lyrics down, and then it was a really slow dirgy thing, and then I rewrote it with my drummer, and we sped it up, and it's like it was about 7 minutes, and then now it's about like 2.5 minutes or something. And yeah, it's just I don't know, it's just dark rock about a very bad place in time, I guess. But I don't know. That's kind of stuff we do. Sorry to ruin the party.
Yeah, do you know, I know your code language. I'm not sure everyone will, but I know exactly what you were talking about there. So let's go without further ado. Smilex with Dead Man's Dirge. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. One love.
One love.
Whoops. Sorry about that.
It's coming, it's coming.
Tripping on the tip of the tongue. Back has got a bitch against the sour for some. Bombing through the street, shaking trucks to take it. She know what to make it. It's not gonna make it. The dead man. Dead. The dead man. Dead. Soft and sweet and easy on the teeth. Suppression so keen, so quick to get through the bleed. So desperate to be a beat of fashion vintage. She keeps on pouring out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in again. Do it now. Devin is tripping on the tip of her tongue. Baggins got a bitch, she gets it's all up for some. Bombing through the street, shaking, trying to take it. She know what to fake it. He's not gonna make it. Dead.
Those days you feel you can't go on. And there's days you know it won't be long. And there's days that can't be just enough. And there's days you feel it's all too much. And there's days you need a bit of help. And there's days you just don't help yourself. And there's days you know you're better dead.
Such a neat little bee that keeps the bone away. Gnawing away at the dish in the day. Chewing away at a hand that will feed her. An unbeliever, another heat seeker. Holding away the day and the hope we don't see her. And she looks like a bleeder. And you can't shoot the reaper. Now you know it's gonna beat ya. Do it! Do it now! Devin is tripping on the tip of the tongue. Back has got a bitch against the top of his tongue. Bombing through the street, shaking, trying to take it. She know what to fake it. It's not gonna make it. Yeah!
Bring out your bring out all your bring out your bring out all of your time.
So let me go. I'll go Mark's story because he's into voodoo blues and rock and all mad music as well. So Mark's story, what's your thoughts on that?
I just thought it was a bit too laid back myself.
Too laid
No,
back for
that's-
the Mr. Voodoo Blues.
No, that's great. Do you know what I love about it is the fact that it's got all that drive and energy. And then you go off on a little tangent, it makes everyone go, "Oh, what's happening?" Yeah. And then you come back and you're, "Oh, we're all right, we can carry on with the riff, we're all rocking away." Then you suddenly go off and do this like stuff, you know. I think it's really ingenious what you did there. And I really liked it. I thought it was great. It's different, you know.
I think we're all
and
quite ADHD.
it didn't lack any punch at all. It literally punched my face right in. So it was awesome. Well done, mate.
Thanks. Yeah, I think we're quite like as a band, we've all got like a kind of musical ADHD kind of thing where we're like, if we've done something, we've heard such a lot of rock music. I think that when we've done a certain bit of something for a certain amount of time, we're like, okay, we've done that for long enough. What can we do now? Well, how can we change it up? And so, so everybody gets his bit in as well. Like, there's a lot of really cool drums from Pat and a lot of really cool guitar bits. The bass line during the midsection is just a weird snaky kind of bass line that, you know, you wouldn't usually come up with. So yeah, I love my band. They're great.
Well said. Well, so I'm just going to put in there. Little Elsa's going to leave, so she just wants to say the compliment here before you go. Elsa, you want to say something before you leave? She has to go. It's very late over there.
Sure. Yeah, it reminded me of the the punk time during, when it was the beginning of the punk era in New York.
Yeah.
But there is some kind of modern twist as well, and it's very unique, and I like the cartoon vibe as well.
That was shot really cheap, actually. We did that all in our back room with all our friends came by, and we devised ways of Tom, our guitarist, being this big atomic guy and him just killing all of our friends. And we thought it'd be really funny for them to in our video. And now we all watch it, and it's a little snapshot of like at the time, because we had a big party and everything. So, and we'd like in the middle of the party, we'd come and say, "It's your turn to die." So we take them into the green screen room and get them to act out some stuff. And yeah, so now it's like 15 years later, it becomes like, oh, my friends. So I see that and I just laugh all the way through it, being honest, at everybody.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
I can't wait to see what's more recent as well, Lee, I bet everyone else. So Sabina, then Nathan, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was really, such a powerful rock song with a lot of, high energy all the way through. And really, I love the video as well. These animations were just really, really awesome. Yeah.
Well said. And Elsa, if you have to go now, bye, dear. Bye, dear.
And bye to everyone. It was nice to meet you all, and hope to catch you soon.
I'll speak to you in email tomorrow, Elsa. And Pretty, Bernice's battery's going to die. So do you want to say something, Pretty, before you actually get cut off here? So Pretty, do you want to say something?
Well, it's been a pleasure to meet you all. And for Lee, I really think it's a strong guitar work. I have to see what I wrote down. And the changing pace that is what's constantly going on is amazing. And I think it's quite hard to make that kind of music, and I think it's amazing that you've just done it.
Thanks. We're going to have to play it quite soon, so then I'm going to have to learn how to do it all over again after not doing it for 10 years, so I'm quite nervous. So but we'll see how it goes in the summer. But yeah, it should be fun. It's certainly an energy level that I'm like, oh wow, I've got to go back to that, if you know what I mean, which is quite crazy. I was quite a madman back then, so I don't know what I'm going to become like getting ready for it.
Just enjoy.
Okay.
Well said, Pretty. Well said. And to Elsa and Pretty, you have to check out Heather's podcast, which is called The Best In with Heather, all one word. I'll make sure he's know about it, but she's probably going to invite some of you on her show and stuff like that. So if he's leave before this last section, then check out the podcast, The Best In with Heather. But I'll make sure you see it anyway. So well said, Pretty and Sabina. Let's go, Steve Black Nova.
Right. Where shall I start with that? Basically, I was thinking it's very kind of punk rock, a new wave. I was getting that from it, and I was thinking rap as well. I was actually thinking with the kind of the vocal delivery was a kind of rap style. It was just coming at you fast. And the energy of it, like we had the term like punk rock, but the rock went way back for me. It went back to the rock and roll of Chuck Berry. It was that kind of energy in there. So a fantastic mix of rock sounds there. And I loved the video as well. I liked all that kind of that stuff. And the energy of it all was just fantastic.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I do actually. I listen to tons and tons of rap music. So although we're not really a rap rock kind of, like your Limp Bizkit or your Rage Against the Machine, something about filling out the verses with a lot of I grew up with lots of Ice Cube and Ice-T and all the ices, even Vanilla Ice. Don't tell anyone though, but but yeah.
Right. So I was on the right one there with that. I could pick up that rap thing to it. Yeah.
I like choruses that are like more singy, and then like as many vocals as I can pack in a verse. I got a lot to say, and so I have to squeeze it all in. Otherwise the songs would be really long.
Hey Lee, there's only one Robert Van Winkle. Vanilla Ice, that old track. See, when I hear it now, I still jump about like a big kid.
Some would say, thank goodness there's only one Robert Van Winkle. Yeah.
I see with MC Hammer as well. You know, they're champs. But
my two first rap tapes were Please Hammer Don't Hurt 'Em, and then Vanilla Ice to the extreme.
I've spoken with MC Hammer. You know, I've spoken with him. I'd love to get him on the. But we can only dream. He's huge, isn't he? But I've spoken to him before. Russ Stallings, then Nathan.
I agree with everything that's been said, and now punk rock, that's probably the furthest out of my wheelhouse as far as listening experience. But what I related it to was it made me think of Red Hot Chili Peppers a little bit, just a little bit there. Some of the sounds in the music as well as in the vocals. That's where it took me. I thought it was great, and great job. I could see myself exercising to this music. Had the high energy, getting on the treadmill, running it out. It's got that drive to you, makes you want to move,
Yeah.
So great job.
I can't work out like heavy. I love loads of different types of music, but it has to be really heavy. If you want to get me exercising, then you better put on some like heavy rock. And also when I'm a relatively normal person, obviously, but when I'm listening to that rock music, I feel like I want to be a total maniac. So yeah, so thanks. That's great. That's what we're aiming for, I guess. Or what we're doing by accident, I don't know. It's one or the other.
Well, Lee, honestly, you come across to me like a musical knowledge bank. You seem like you're very, very knowledgeable in the music. I can't wait to speak to you more. Nathan from Medusa Glare, then Heather, get your compliments in here, and then we'll talk about Heather's podcast next.
They don't have to be compliments if you hated it, by the way.
It's all complimentary. It's all complimentary, Lee. I was definitely getting that punk. That newer modern punk sound. I was getting elements of the Beastie Boys in there in the middle. I don't know if you know the part I mean. But the other thing I really liked was in the middle of the song where you put the extra beat in the bar. So you went from a 4/4 to like a 5/4 on the alternate bars. I was digging that. I like mucking around with that kind of stuff. So that was really neat. That was a standout for me. That it went somewhere I wasn't expecting it to go for a little bit longer than I was expecting it to. So shout out to that, man. That was great.
That's what makes the bass line so weird when you actually when you get out there because it's doing that extra step all the time. It's like, oh, what's and then when you hear just the bass line soloed, it's like, why is she playing? What would that even fit?
And as a bass player, that's probably why it jumped out into my ears, and I was thinking, that's cool. I wasn't expecting it. It works. It fits. It sort of took me off guard, and I like that.
We're lucky. Our drummer's a really good mathematician, so if we throw in a weird bit, he knows where the extra bit needs to be, so that it all falls and feels like it's in the right place before it goes on. So.
If you have a drummer that can count, you're a lucky man. Well done.
That's it. Heather, what was your thoughts here? Heather, before we talk about your podcast, what we do?
Yeah, sure. It was very high energy, and like someone said, I feel like I could definitely hop on the treadmill and work out to it. So I really liked it. I felt like that angst expressed in it, and it kind of gave me the vibes like it was made by a band like Metallica. Like I feel like maybe there was probably some influence of like a metal or a hardcore rock band like that was in that song, but I really liked it.
Yeah, probably more the hardcore kind of side of things, but we like Metallica's money. I don't know how much we want to play their music. We'd love their cash though if they've got it going. It's where we're like a bit of a melting pot of like different metal, grunge, punk. We love the Stooges and Sex Pistols, but we also love glam stuff, David Bowie and all sorts of things. So it all just gets chucked in a big pot, but we want to be the loudest always and the nastiest and the scariest and all those the time pushing it. So that's probably where you're getting the full-on metal vibes. It's
Yeah.
probably our most metal song. It's almost, if you slowed it down, when we first did it, it was almost like Sabbath or something like that. But then we were like, went like, and it all in faster. And so almost like if you played it, instead of it being on 33, if you switched it up to 45 from it being. So, yeah.
Well said, everyone. Lee Christian and his band is just rekindling Smile X. Till the next time, Lee, I'll speak to you soon. One love, brother. One love. So the last guest on the show is a different type of guest tonight. Heather Ochina. Could you please pronounce your second name for me, Heather?
Yeah, it's Okino.
Ochina, right? And you've got a podcast. It's called The Best In with Heather.
Yeah.
And you've had some people like the Blue October's bassist on, Matt Novetzky.
Yeah.
And you would be looking for some more guests to potentially interview. And I promise you, anyone in our music family, if you interview them, I will write you an article and we'll have you a partners section on the website free of charge. So that just everyone, Heather's going to try and help you. Could you just tell us a little bit about it? And I do have a 20-minute clip about Matt Novetzky, but maybe everyone could just check it out in their own time. But could you tell everyone, how do we find you? What's your, Heather? And I want to bring you, I would love you to be a music reviewer. If you want to come to these shows, maybe you don't have to spend the full time. That's 2.5 hours here, but you can come on for half an hour most days and stuff. So who is Heather Okino? Could you tell us, please?
Yeah, of course. So, just like Sparky said, I have a podcast, a YouTube channel called The Best In with Heather, and I interview up and coming artists. I intended on talking to people based in New York State because that's where I'm from, but I actually interview like people from everywhere. I actually just recently did an interview with 2 band members. They're a pop punk band from all the way in Australia, and I have like a diverse amount of artists on my channel. I found that I'm most successful so far with artists who make like indie and rock music, basically any music like within those genres. I also have a second channel where I do like commentary and just like other types of videos, but I don't really use that one. I just focus on the main channel where I do interviews just to like establish my platform and basically just like help me in my future career endeavors.
Well, can I just jump in now? I mean, the people who's left alone, you've got California, Sweden, Netherlands, Portugal, New Zealand, Nashville, London, and England. So all of you all need people like Heather to do interviews. And if the people that spread the word weren't here, then I mean, what help would you have? So Heather, is anyone put your hand up if you're willing to have an interview from Heather? Yeah, there you go. You've got a full house here. All right, darling. So, on top of this, I've never had someone on the show that's never played a song before. And it's a 20-minute video, so I don't really want to put that on at the moment. But will you come on a one-on-one podcast with me, and we'll actually have a real 30-minute chat, and we'll make a real article that I'll send to everyone saying Heather's looking for some people to interview and stuff like that. So
if I could jump in, I'd really like if you want to interview all the bands on my label, the Quick Fix Recordings, that'd be cool. Like straight away, just get
can I just say that now, right? I have hundreds of people who's agreed to do what Heather does with the people in my family, and I'm just going to bring 2 or 3 people on each show from now on, and I mean hundreds of them. So just stick with the Top Tap Promotions Music family, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'll do is, right, for anyone who's wanting to watch it, I'm going to screen share the Blue October interview by Heather. And this is, instead of a goodbye, if you have to go and you need to leave during it, we probably expect that. But if you want to watch the first couple of minutes, you'll certainly see what our YouTube channel is, etc. Then and we'll take it from there. If anybody's left at the end, I'll say hi and goodbye at the end, but I'll be in touch with these all very soon. So this is the way we're going to end the show today, by a little bit of Heather's interview, so you can see her channel especially, So yeah, one love.
Thanks
Hi
very much.
everyone. Today I'm here with a special guest, Matt Noveski of the alt-rock Texas-based Blue October band. Hi, how are you today?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So you're an artist, of course, and you're also a producer, also a co-owner of Orb Recording Studios, right?
That's correct. Yep, in Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Great. So I looked on the website of the studio and I saw some of the clients.
Yeah.
And I saw some big names like Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg in 1975. Have you worked with any big names in the industry?
Yeah. So I've been really lucky to just be a fly on the wall with some of those sessions, like the Bieber session. I actually got to sit in the whole session. I got to watch him work. I got to watch him do cut vocals and sat right next to his engineer. And like, they were just awesome. Just the sweetest, kindest people. Honestly, I learned so much just watching that like whole process. And he's absolutely brilliant. And that was really interesting to me. And so I but if I'm not actually producing, generally I'll try to just say hello and, make my presence known if they need anything. And then I'll kind of stay out of the way if I need to, it just kind of depends on the vibe of the session. But then as a producer, I work with a lot of bands that are making, their first or second record a lot. But I have worked with some bands that have done pretty well. I Am Dynamite, we had a top 20 song. I've worked with Joshua Radin, who's been all over. He's toured for many years, but he's been in a lot of films and television. And, we I guess do a couple songs with him. One of the songs we did actually had some placements. And then I got to work with Cavo, who's, toured quite a bit. They toured with Daughtry. They had a #1 song on Modern Rock at one point. But yeah, I like to work with bands that are like, a lot of times they're kind of making their first real record, you know what I mean? And then like get to watch them kind of go on to bigger and better things. And like, I really love that whole process. I do.
Very cool. Since you mentioned you worked with a lot of bands, you worked with a band called Switch, right? Or The Switch? So
I was actually in that band. Yeah, that's my old band from Michigan back in the day. Yeah. So it's funny that you bring that up too, because the drummer and the guitar player and I have actually started to work together again after 20 some years. We've all been friends for many years, but we were really, really close friends. We all kind of grew up together. That was back in like our high school, early 20s and all that. So we kind of came up together musically and like went to concerts together. And like, that was like my first band where it was like, I was really super serious about it, so to this day, we're all really close friends, but we haven't made music together in so long that it's super nostalgic to get back together again and write. And so, just a couple days ago, we had a phone call about this summer. We're going to do some work together. We're going to come down to my studio and we're going to do some work together. So I'm just really excited about doing that just as kind of a passion project type thing, to do something with friends and people that I grew up with many years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
I also read that you're part of Icarus Bell, a duo with Alan Adams.
That's correct. Yeah. That's, you could say passion project, but that's more something that we do have aspirations, of playing shows and doing some touring and whatnot. But that was kind of born during the pandemic, when everybody was sort of sitting around at home, like didn't know what they were going to do. We couldn't tour with Blue October. We couldn't tour or anything. So Alan is our old tour manager with Blue October, and he was with us for years and years, and we're all super close. He's like part of our family, but Alan and I have been friends for many years. We played in a band together 20 years ago. And so we started that as just kind of a way to keep busy and kind of to write songs together and work on stuff and kind of do something a little heavier, like we both really like bands like Royal Blood and Queens of the Stone Age and Led Zeppelin. And so it's a little bit more in that vein, but it was also kind of a vehicle to get like other musicians that we're friends with involved. Like, so we have friends in other bands and we were like, hey, why don't you come join in and play on a song? And like, the album's almost finished. Once it's finished, we're going to put it out this summer. But we have 10 songs that are going on the album, and we have a couple extra songs that are kind of bonus tracks. I just have to do 2 more vocals, and that's it. So it's really just bass, drums, vocals. I play some guitars, and then we have friends come and play like piano, keys, guitar, whatever that is. Like, you know, just depends song to song. It's kind of a different makeup. It's like a different band every song almost.
Okay. What's the name of the album?
Oh my gosh, that's the first time I've been asked that. We don't know, actually. We've tossed around some ideas. I always kind of like, you know, taking one song, like a song title that sort of kind of like personifies what the whole record's about, I guess, you know? So I can't say with certainty that this would be the title, but I really like the song Bones, and I really like the message of that song. So I could see that being the title, for example, but I think that we're going to have to, maybe it'll be self-titled. Maybe it'll just be Icarus Bell. I'm not sure yet. Yeah. I'll know soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for Blue October Band, you guys released an album, a 3-part album actually, called Spinning the Truth Around last October.
Yeah, so that we released the first part in October. The second part is finished, and it's going to be released very soon. I can tell you that. Like I don't know the exact date because we have a song that's doing really well right now on the radio. It's top 20 right now. So you kind of have to let, like when you have a song that's doing well and it's reacting, you kind of have to let that sort of like fulfill its whole life cycle before you start moving on to other things. So we thought we were going to be putting the album out, I think like this month or next month. And we had to push that back once we realized like, hey, the song's doing really well. Let's kind of let it run its course. And then we can plan on putting the next album out. But it is going to be 3 parts total. The second album's done, and then we'll be working on the third when we get back on.
I think it's pretty interesting that you guys decided to make it fragmented into 3 parts. Like, what made you guys want to do that?
It's, you know, to be honest, it's ambitious for sure. You know, you see a lot of records these days, like, I think to like the Chili Peppers Stadium Arcadian, you know, it's like, how many songs are on this album? There's so many songs on the album.
Yeah.
You know, to me, I think that it's again, when you think to the pandemic and you think to, we put an album out right at the beginning of that, right? We were all set to go promote it, and we couldn't do that because everything got shut down. During that time, there was so much creative output that there were so many songs that it was like, we got to catch up. You know, it's like we have so many songs now, and Justin is such a prolific songwriter, you know, that his studio, I have a studio, but it's 7 minutes away from my house. So it's pretty easy for me to kind of separate, okay, I'm home with my kids versus I'm at the studio doing my thing or whatever that is. Justin's studio is in his backyard. So he's there every single day. You know, it's like 10 a.m., you know, it's like a 10 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever that is. He's already in there cutting vocals and he's already demoing. And so that guy writes more than anybody I've ever been around in my entire life. And I'm really fortunate to be in a band with him. You know, just the output that he has as a songwriter is crazy. So I think that it just kind of like caught up, and it was like, hey, instead of just, you know, picking 12 songs and then putting all the rest to the side, like we have so many, let's go ahead and put them into groups that kind of fit the same vibe, and let's do one at a time and make it a 3-part album, which I love. We've never done anything like that before. You know? We've been around a long time, so we gotta try new things. Keep it fresh and interesting, you know. Yeah.
And your band Blue October is on tour right now, right?
Yeah, I'm actually sitting in a Comfort Inn right now. I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee. We got about 2 weeks left, I think, of this tour, and then we go home for a few days, and then we go to Disney. We play at Disney, which is awesome. I love doing that. It's, I think, our 4th or 5th time doing that. And then we head straight to Europe from there. So we do a Europe tour at the end of April into May, and then we go home and we get some family time. We get to take a break during the summer for a bit. So it's been a lot of touring. It's been a ton of touring over the last year, but I mean, I'm not complaining.
Can I just jump in at that now for 2 seconds, right? See, how friendly are you with Matt? Have you kept your friendship with him, Heather? Everyone will be checking out your show, and thanks for staying to the end, whoever could, you know. And Heather, are you still friends with Matt Nowinski?
I mean, we haven't really talked outside of that interview, but I'm interested in like contacting him again. And
why don't you reach out to him and say, oh, I've got a show that I would like to bring you on, and bring him on this show, and the Heather's brought on this person, you know, so you'll get all the credit in the world for it. This show's nearly been 3 hours now, and it's been a long time. But Heather, I didn't want to cut that off there, but everyone's just we're going to get you tons of guests for your show, and Lee's got a full record label, fully artist. He wants you to interview as well. So, oh, you're muted there, Lee. You're muted there, champ. And Black Nova.
Yeah, I've got the whole roster that I'm sure would love to speak to you, and probably loads more friends as well. So yeah, just I've already followed you. I followed everybody I could find. So you know, I was missing the lady from France. What was her name again?
Dude, there'll be an article tomorrow, and all your social medias will be in it, so you don't even need to do that. But I would do the same, but I'll make sure you always find each other. And Black Nova, we need to talk more as well. I mean, you're looking after, you know, Heston and Carrie, and I'm looking after old Steve and old Mark, but me and you should be mates as well, dude, you know. So I don't know how much work you want to get producing wise, but there's a shit ton of good songs in this family by older people or people who's not got equipment that you probably could make a big difference for. And Lee, all your artists as well. Let's all chat one-on-one. I want a podcast interview with you, Heather, with you, Lee, and with you, Black Nova, in the next couple of weeks, a one-on-one thing, and we'll get in depth about your origins and stuff like that. Okay. So I always like to end the show with the peace sign, because we all want to get world peace, didn't we? So that's, if you want world peace, give the peace sign. It might just happen. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen.